but it is different and difficult sometimes to watch these games without a post presence.
Right.
So it's almost like watching
a pickup game.
That's just what I was going to say. It's like watching pickup
A
basketball.
bad pickup game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's. I mean, you look
Sometimes
at
it's good
Cleveland,
when they hit.
right?
But
No,
to
but
me,
if you look
Golden
at
State
Cleveland,
is the
Golden
best,
State,
because
right?
the assists. If you just look at Golden State's assists, they're one of the best passing teams I've seen.
But
they got guys
what
cutting all
allows
the time.
Golden State to be Golden State is the fact that Shaquille
Sure.
O'Neal is no longer present. Tim Duncan is no longer present. You know, these bigs that can really dominate the post, because now you can get away with playing Draymond Green at the 5 and putting him on DeAndre Jordan and putting him on some of these other bigs, because you know that other teams aren't playing through their bigs to dominate the game. Marc Gasol, who's one of the most skilled bigs in the league, shoots the same amount of threes as Mike Conley. So when you have these bigs that are put Shaquille O'Neal down there on Draymond Green. No disrespect to Draymond Green, excellent defender. Probably defensive player of the year. But when you have a post guy that is dominant that you can play through, it doesn't allow you to play small ball.
Right.
Do you think they would still do it, or would they just still shoot threes if Shaq was around today?
They may shoot threes, but it would force them to adjust.
They would have to put a big on
Right.
Shaq.
It will force you to adjust. When you don't have that big down there, you don't have to adjust, and you see other teams adjusting to the way that Golden State plays. So now when you're adjusting to them, that means they have the advantage. When you have those 5 smalls on the floor, 5 guys that can.
All right. So how do you beat them?
You have to. You honestly. And it's crazy to think of in today's NBA, but you have to combat that super team with your own super team.
Right.
There's
And
no way around it.
We talked about the last time you called in, but okay, so who's going to do that? Now you're hearing rumors that Kyrie wants to be traded out because he thinks LeBron's going to jet for L.A. You Paul George, who knows where he's going? He probably wants to go to L.A. Butler now doesn't want to go to Cleveland. Who gets assembled? Who orchestrates it to beat them?
I don't know. And that's the tough part of the NBA today. You have 29 teams that are trying to accomplish the same thing. You have 29 teams chasing one.
Right.
And that one team is head and shoulders above everyone else, though.
So if you're the Wizards, bringing this to the Wizards, we talked to Antonio Daniels. It seems like they have to bring back Otto Porter, but some of us have said that you're kind of stuck. You got John Wall, you got Bradley Beal. Otto Porter had a nice year this year. I think actually his second half of his season he was exposed a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong, but
exposed in which way?
Well,
he
just,
didn't
to
shoot
me,
as
he's
well.
a spot-up shooter, really. He's not a great player. He's a glue player. He's okay.
But see,
he's
here's
not
the
going to
thing.
get you to another level.
Right, but here's the thing
That's
about
why, if they could swap out Otto Porter for Paul George because he's doing a heartbeat,
Well,
now all of a sudden they got a chance.
Right, but here's the thing about the way the league works. It's really about one other team thinking a certain way about a certain player. That's going to force your hand.
Sure.
So even if you are Ernie Grunfeld and you're Tom Shepard and you think, well, you know what? I don't think Otto Porter's a max player. That's what you can say to yourself, but you need one other team out there to think he is. So if one other team says, you know what, they don't think he is, we're going to give him max money, that was your choice. You can either match it or lose him.
Right.
Do you think that the Wizards
So what would you do then?
Match him.
You would match.
You have to.
Yeah.
When you have a guy that can shoot the ball like Otto Porter can, and you have John Wall and you have Bradley Beal, like one thing
But could you develop Oubre and say Oubre's long, and Oubre can hit threes, and
but
he
the
can
key
play
word is
defense.
develop, and that's going to take time. He's not there yet. Kelly Oubre hasn't shown
Well, neither
enough
was
to
Otto
say
when Paul Pierce was here.
right,
I mean,
but he's not enough to say, you know what? Let's let this guy walk away that is quote unquote a max player, and we're going to put you in to try and grow. Like,
I think
you
you're going backwards.
you're one game.
you
were
are.
literally one game away from
You are going
the
backwards,
Eastern Conference Finals.
but you give yourself some flexibility potentially
Right.
to add someone. If you sign Otto to that deal, now you are locked in, and this is
But
your
you
core.
might not add somebody as good as Otto.
You might not, but you have the opportunity
but
potentially.
here's the thing: is
to lure someone.
like who? That's the question I always ask. Because when people say, well, you could, there has to be a could out there. You know what I mean? So it's one thing to say it, but it's nothing to actually have somebody legitimate in mind that you can actually plug in to Otto Porter's spot and say, you know what, we can put this guy in a 3 spot and he'll make us better.
But see, and going back to what you said, yes, they were close. They were a game, you could say a game away from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think there is a canyon between them and the current Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay, and I agree.
Okay?
And you
so
know
to
what?
get to that Cleveland Cavaliers level, you may have to make more drastic moves. And locking in with Otto may take away from your flexibility. Like, I think, personally, Marcin Gortat, nice player.
Agreed.
He puts up some numbers. but he gets exposed when you go against smaller lineups. He gets pick and rolled to death,
Right.
and you may have to move on from there. The thing is, in the modern day NBA, there's like minimum cap, maximum cap, whatever. They brought in guys like Jan Mahimi for $14 million. Like, they're not as flexible as maybe you want
Right.
to be. And Otto would really, to me, make him a team that, maybe get the Eastern Conference Finals,
Okay,
but
so-
you're not going to get to the NBA title.
Okay, so we had this conversation the last time I was on, which is a little while ago. Tell me that you think the same about Cleveland today as you did then.
Well, here's what we talked about this earlier. I still would, because it's all talk right now. They can just decide right now, you know what, all this talk, we're going to bring back Kyrie, we're going to bring back LeBron, bring back Kevin Love, and they're still the best team in the East.
But, right,
For
agreed.
one more year.
Exactly.
Right.
That was exactly what, for one more year. So let's hypothetically say, one more year is one more year, period, because one more year is another year that LeBron James is getting older.
Yeah.
It's going to come to a point, I don't care who you
Sure.
are, that Father Time is going to catch you. You're going to start to decline.